Cloud Beats.
By any means they moving, gotta go hard. Rarely get sleep, focus, making figures large. Everybody down till it's time to play a part. No time to lounge, put that lazy shit in park.
Hello. I want to welcome you all to another episode of the Black Dot Podcast, Healing for the Soul, Season 4 Prelude. I'm so happy to have you guys here with me. If you are just tuning in for the first time, I am Mo, and I want to welcome you all to this beautiful love child of mine here. Today's episode is going to be kind of a different one. I want to talk about last year. Last year was kind of a tough one for me. I went through a lot. And in going through a lot, I learned a lot about myself. And it seemed like so much of last year was so many disappointments, so many upsets and changes and different things that I had to adapt to that I didn't really want to adapt to. If I'm being honest with you, I didn't think that I would survive last year, but through the grace of God and prayer and so many people who sent so much love my way, I survived. Last year, I experienced a lot of disappointment. Last year, I found myself giving so much of myself to everybody around me, so much of myself to the people that I loved, my friendships, my business relationships, my significant others. I found myself giving so much of myself, but I realized that at the end of the day, I didn't have anything left for me. When I was in need, these people, they didn't show up. Some of these same people, they couldn't answer the phone. Some of these same people, it seemed like they didn't really care. And if I'm being honest with you, it really hurt. Like, anybody that knows me knows I'm a very sensitive person. I'm like a short stack of love here. I cry easy, I get mad easy, I get frustrated easy, I get anxious easy. I'm very much so in tune with my emotions and the things that make me feel various different things, right? And last year, my feelings got hurt a lot. I really started to see how people really felt, how people really thought of me. And I realized a lot of my mistake last year was I put people on a pedestal and I should not have done that. And I remember somebody used to always tell me, I can't think of who the person is. God forgive me. I can't think of who the person is. But I remember somebody telling me, you never put people on a pedestal because they will always hurt you. They will always let you down. Or when they hurt your feelings, it would always feel worse than what it would normally feel, right? And I know last year I made the mistake of putting a lot of people on pedestals that I shouldn't have put them on. I had people plot on me. I had people lie on me. I had people go against me, and it really made me feel less than myself because I spent a lot of time thinking, what did I do? What could I have said that would have been different? What could I have done that would have been different? What could I what could I change that would have prevented this from happening? And it's like I spent a lot of time racking my brain trying to figure out what could I have done to make them not do me wrong. And I remember I went to my therapist. I talked to my therapist and I explained everything to her. And she said, why would you change you? She told me, she said, if you are a person that is made in love, meaning you're love, you spread love, you speak love, you feel love, all of that. If that's you, why would you change that for somebody else? She said the only way you would change that is if that wasn't you to begin with. She was like, that's you. You're made of love. Why would you change that? And of course, in the moment, I didn't want to hear it. I was upset. I was mad. I was angry, frustrated. I didn't want to hear anybody tell me something like that. But when I sat and I thought about it, I was like, well, Damn, that does make sense. That does make sense. Okay, damn. Then I got upset because she made sense. But last year, I realized that I sometimes have to let people be. I realized that I sometimes have to let people be, and I have to let them figure out things for themselves. I try to jump in and save people and protect people, and it's only because I love people. I love everybody that's connected to me. You know who you are. I love you. I adore you. I try to give what I feel I would want, but I felt like I was always getting hurt because it wasn't being reciprocated. It wasn't being received right. It wasn't being, received the way I felt it should have been received. But the one thing I've been intentional about this year is learning how to stay in my lane, learning how to not allow myself to give more than what I should. And last year just became this thing of, do I really want to be bothered with people? Do I really want to even do this show? Do I really want to be involved in all of this stuff? It was tough last year. And I feel like this year, everything that I learned in 2024, I'm taking into this year. Because I want to be intentional about my time. I want to be intentional about my energy. I want to be intentional about my health. I want to be intentional about my overall peace. And last year I felt like I allowed a lot of people to take my peace and do whatever they wanted to do with it. But this year I'm not doing that. And I encourage anybody who is watching this, anybody who was listening to this, anybody who is in their state of disappointment, I encourage you to be intentional about what you want your life to look like. I encourage you to deal however you need to deal, in a healthy manner, of course. But I encourage you to deal whatever it is that you need to deal with before it deals with you. Because I wish last year that I would have been more cognizant of how I was allowing people to impact me. And I can only take responsibility for me, right? I allowed a lot of things to transpire that shouldn't have. I allowed a lot of people to be connected to me and have access to me whose expiration date had already come and gone. But because I didn't want to lose them, because I didn't want to be marked as the bad guy, I let them stay. And all they did was drain me. All they did was take advantage of me. All they did was lie, manipulate. And it's almost like my grandma used to always say, you can't blame the devil for doing the devil's job. The devil's job is to come, steal, kill, and destroy. Why would you get mad at him for doing his job? All you have to do is be responsible for your response to it. Meaning that I don't have to allow you to take me out of character or take me out of who I am. And last year I allowed a lot of that. This episode, I thought about naming it The Great Year of Disappointments. And even with family, I learned a lot. And some lessons I wish I didn't have to learn. Some things I wish that I could have seen before I saw it, but I learned my lesson. One of the things that I've been struggling with is I'm not a family get-together sort of person. I am, but I'm not. And what I mean by that is, for me, my family, we get together and, we come together just cause. It really doesn't have to be a specific reason, just cause. But the one thing I've learned is there's always felt like it was something missing for me. I've always felt like this doesn't feel complete. And the one thing that I've realized for me is, in losing my grandmother, there's always been this part of me that I don't think has ever gotten closure from it. I say that I've made peace with it, and I feel like I've made peace with it, but I don't think I've necessarily gotten the closure from it. And so when I'm around and when I'm at family gatherings, the few times that I'm there, it's like I'm happy that we're all together. I'm happy that we're laughing and cutting up and acting a fool. I'm happy, I'm enjoying it, but it doesn't feel whole to me. And one of the things that really bothered me last year was I felt like in a lot of ways I was the outsider because I wasn't really, engaging like that. I wasn't really being a part of anything like that. I was just really dealing with whatever the hell I was dealing with. And I felt like without that presence or that feeling of my grandmother, things aren't the same. Things aren't, they aren't what I'm used to them being. And that's something 100% completely in me that I have to work through. But last year really took a lot out of me as far as trying to feel and be engaging and want to be with family. It just felt different, All of what I'm learning about myself from last year, I'm learning that I have to be more aware of what I feel. Just as much as I try to respect and be aware of what other people feel, I have to be aware of what I feel as well. Because last year I didn't spend enough time being aware of what I feel. Last year I spent a lot of time trying to be fair to everybody, trying to be the whatever I felt I needed to be for people or whatever I felt they needed me to be. This year I want to be what Mo needs Mo to be. I want to be whatever God needs me to be. And this year I want to be a little bit more selfish with me. Because I refuse to have another year of disappointments. I refuse to have another year of letdowns and all of that. This year I want to be happy. This year I want to be intentional in my walk with God. I want to be intentional in my peace. I want to be intentional in my boundaries. I want to be intentional. Hell, if I walk from here to the kitchen, I want to be intentional about that too. I want to be intentional all around in every aspect of my life. And for those of you watching, those of you listening, I want for you to be intentional about you. Whatever it is that you need to fix, whatever it is you need to change, maybe it's a bad relationship, maybe it's a bad job, maybe it's some doors you need to close, some chapters you need to close, whatever it is. I encourage you, I challenge you to be intentional about you. Before you try to fix anybody else, before you try to tell anybody else about their stuff, be intentional about you so that you can get whatever you need out of this new year. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to always be good. But I encourage you to be intentional about you and watch how things change. Watch how things shift. That's a better word. Watch how things shift. This episode is not going to be a long one, but I make it a habit that with this show, I'm always going to be honest about my journey. I'm always going to be honest about what I feel and what I think and what I notice, in hopes that for anybody else who's going through it, we fight through it together. Thank y'all so much. Until next time.
Cloud Beats.
By any means they moving, gotta go hard. Rarely get sleep, focus, making figures large. Everybody down till it's time to play a